Hi, this is Alki, and welcome back to my channel. As you may know, I have been working for New York City Transit for 33 years until December of 2018. In that period of time, from the early 90s, around 1994 to 2018, we had to deal with OPTO. Unfortunately, OPTO, how it was gained by New York City Transit, is a subject of controversy. And unfortunately, misinformation on the New York City Transit part, and some from the union, not the current leadership, of course, but unfortunately we had a leadership back then that wanted to throw the subway division under the bus. Yes, talking about the bus division, the old guard, Sonny Hall, and so on. But it wasn't Sonny Hall that put OPTO on the map for New York City Transit. It was the next union president, Tommaso Seda. Unfortunately, he didn't last long because he was a big screw up. He almost brought down the union. Because not just for OPTO, he did some other dumb stuff he couldn't explain involving the contracts. So Sonny Hall threw him into the international to save face and put Willie James in his place. Now, there was rumors about this OPTO thing in the 90s. In fact, we don't know if it's true or not. Maybe some secret operation was taking place to put it in, but they managed to do it. So in the 1994 contract, I believe that's a year. Now I remember when I heard this because a delegate from the union named Joe Candanese comes in. He's explaining about the contract, but we're not hearing anything about the OPTO. We thought, once again, the unions squashed the thing and that's it. No. He said it was put in what they call a blue ribbon panel, which he said he guaranteed was going to stop OPTO. It didn't. He also said the union was going to have $1 million ad campaign to fight OPTO. That didn't happen. And if that didn't work, we were going to go up to Albany to fight it, put a bill in place and make it into law. That still hadn't happened. And you have a Democratic control House and Senate up in Albany right now, and the OPTO bill has not been touched. Now, I'm not criticizing Joe Candanese, because I don't think he's the person who's causing the problems. It was Tommaso Seda. So, now, with that in mind, that's how OPTO started. And it would take another 2 years before OPTO would become reality in the summer of 96. They had a college professor from West Virginia to help implement this garbage. And that's how they won the OPTO. If it hadn't been for this blue ribbon panel garbage, there wouldn't be no OPTO right now. And when they first started operating the trains, they were only paying $1.25 an hour as long as you're on the train. Once you're off the train, you don't get the OPTO pay. It went up under Willie James to $2. And last when I left, it was still $2. So from 96 to 2018, it's still getting paid $2. So, some savings, huh? It wasn't benefiting the employees. I'll say $2. It didn't benefit the passengers either, as it turns out. Well, the biggest part of the OPTO that flopped was the West End OPTO Shuttle. That was operating OPTO between 1 and 5 in the morning. And I felt bad for the guy who had one of these jobs, because on the last trip, he had to go all the way up to 168th Street on the B. He's doing OPTO all night, and then the last trip he has to go all the way up to Manhattan. Needless to say, the first generation of OPTO operators didn't last very long because many of them picked off the line. So I don't know where New York City Transit said this has been a success. The only reason it's been a success because they clamped down on anybody who tried to stop it, including me. And of course, you had the Giuliani administration that didn't like new directions also helping out. So that's the only reason why OPTO is still here. But it ended in near disaster when a passenger was murdered on board one of these OPTO trains. And unfortunately, the operator took off and left the dead passenger on the platform. That was never reported in the news. So if you don't believe me, look that up from 1997, Rockaway Pk Shuttle. You'll see Edward Johnson, passenger, was murdered by an individual with mental health issues. She took a huge knife and plunged it right into his neck. He didn't survive. He leaves a wife and 2 kids behind. We had to contribute to it for his funeral expense. That's how embarrassed I was by this agency. Yeah, they got to keep the OPTO, but passenger lost his life for nothing. And OPTO became a hot button issue and ended up in a strike in 2005 with a pension problem too. But the fact of the matter is, since the strike, there had been no OPTO expansion, and there was 2 chances for them to get OPTO expanded, but they blew both chances. It was through arbitration. The second one that had the best chance to get the OPTO, instead they wanted to get better value on the contract with more medical expenses, passenger costs to the employees. The arbitrator didn't agree, and he awarded the contract to the union. So not only did they lost that, they lost the OPTO. They could have had the L line restored, OPTO, and they could have had the 7 train run OPTO too, full length. Instead, as you see today, you got the cameras all over the L line, no OPTO. And no OPTO on the 7. No expansion. So, is OPTO really the success that they claim it is? No. Is this really saving us money? They used to have the collector trains, where the trains used to go to J Street and drop off money. They got rid of the conductors in those trains. It wasn't a success because they replaced those trains with armored car vehicles. So you can spend more money on the truck. So how are you saving money? You're not. Just like with trolleys, you replace it with buses. You're replacing equipment that could last up to 50 years with equipment that will only last half their lifetime. You know, potholes do damages to buses. Ask Grumman. So, in 2004, the B-line OPTO Shuttle was replaced by the full-time D-line. Because unfortunately, if the B and the R were terminating at 36th Street, the N was the only line running on 4th Avenue, and something happens at the N, 4th Avenue shut down. That way now with the D, if something happens to the N line, you still have the D train running on 4th Avenue. That was a flop. Also a flop was the Rockaway Pk Shuttle, where Edward Johnson was murdered on. Every day there's a huge crowd for the beach. The OPTO is suspended. So again, where is the savings? So right now they're planning running no OPTO on the Rockaway Pk Shuttle. It's a Saturday. There's a beach crowd. So you're not saving no money. Maybe you're putting money in somebody else's pocket, like management, but the public is not really benefiting from it. Certainly not the employees. My pension took a hit because of OPTO. The fact of the matter is, a brand new transit system that was built for OPTO will succeed a lot better with OPTO. A system that is old, like New York City's transit system, the way it was built, it's not that good. Likely. We don't know how long this OPTO thing is going to last, but if it ends, it's going to end miserably. And that's something that not many people want to even think about. It will be one of the biggest public relations blunder of all time. So let's put OPTO where it belongs, in the trash can of history. This outcome saying so long for now, and don't forget to stop. Oh, and don't forget to watch Mythic Transit and watch his video about OPTO.